Welcome back, everyone. It's UnkleDestiny here with you. It's time to get the reading in for the month of October, which is coming up. And we've also just recently had the fall equinox, since the world was in balance, and we now stand in the fall period. Now, this is also the period which, if you're following, depending on your path you follow, the veil between the worlds is thinning, especially for that month of October with Halloween. But I also want to remind you that the veil that divides us between this plane and living and the world of the spirits and the ancestors is something that we're always crossing and making contact with every day. There's nothing that says that this time more than any other we can't be in contact with our ancestors. We can be in contact with them every day and call on them for everything and anything we need to help make this world and this life better. So, with that said, let's go and get the ancestors in and see what they have to say about the month of October. Alrighty, so we've thrown the bones, and as I've said in the past, anything that does not end up on the reading surface is not part of the reading. So here's what we've got as our spread. And as you can see, we only have one of the main central bones on here. And this one particular one is family. We also have our new one, the shell, which this time landed right side up. As you can see the pattern on it. We also have a piece of copper and the quartz crystal. So we're going to begin, because what we see here is areas of clustering. So we have a cluster here, we have a cluster here, we have a cluster here. So we'll begin with this cluster here, which is the one that's got the family bone. This is going to be a tricky time. More so than usual, especially with the veil happening. There is a lot of issues that the ancestors are focused on. And they're going to be influencing some interactions going on in this next month. There are things that need to be healed, things that need to be resolved. There's also actions that need to be taken. But they are supporting this act, and that's why we have so many of the support bones around it. Now, we have the rib bone, especially crossing the family bone. And this one is not just about support, it's about the breath of the family, how the family breathes. Has it been holding its breath in tension because of something? Or is it breathing freely, allowing spirit to come in and out and influence in that way? But for spirit and the ancestors to have that impact on what's going on with the family, you need to breathe. You need to be able to let them in and let them work with what they can. That may mean softening somebody. That may mean hardening somebody. That may mean pointing someone in the direction of something that they hadn't realized was actually going on. So this month of October is first and foremost going to be about family and resolving issues within it for the future. Alright? So let's move down here to the shell and the nature. And again, we have a support piece and we have another rib bone piece. And much like I said over here, we have an aspect of what are we allowing the spirit in? Are we allowing spirit in to guide us? Because if you look at the patterning on the shell, it has almost a topographical feel to it. And it is a map in its own way of what we are going to be dealing with and moving through. But we're not going to be able to move through it unless we are willing to allow spirit in to help us breathe. And the fact that the way the bone and shells fall, the support bone is up in the air, it means to me that it's going to be leading to higher forces, higher thinking. It also means that we need to be much more aware of things like hypocriticism and being able to make sure people understand when they are being hypocritical for their growth and for our growth. but so that this is also making sure that nature is protected, because we need to live in it for a longer period of time than most people think. It's not about the immediate, it's about the long term. I'm going to pause here for a moment. So let's move on over here to this cluster. Now this cluster has both the copper piece as well as the, well, I should say the quartz crystal is actually off in its own group. But here we have the quartz piece. And once more, we have the rib bone. So it's again about letting spirit in and breathe. Are we being open to it? And the higher forces of the divine, because there's stuff going on here. Stuff that is related to our relationship with higher forces that we need to resolve. Have promises been made that need to be kept? Have promises been made that you didn't realize you had made? Time to sit and think about those and honor them as they have been, as the spirits have been. But there's also a lot of work that the spirits and the higher forces are calling on, especially during this time. There are new paths coming up, especially now with the equinox. Things have been equalized so that they now have a perspective of being able to see both sides of the fence and know which side has got what they want. So this is about breathing, trusting with the higher forces, towards moving towards that state that is better for you and for the work that needs to be done. That may include, for some, fighting for environment, fighting for family, working extra to be able to provide for your family. It may mean also the fact that we need to change how we govern ourselves. Now, I know that I'm saying that with the fact that we're coming up soon on the elections here in the U.S., and I feel that brings us up to this set of ones here. We have the quartz crystal, and as you notice, right next to it is the the broken rib bone. Now, why is that important? It's about memory. Memories that have also caused divisiveness. Memories of the past. If you're going to make a decision about a leader, about a task, about anything you're going to do, you want to temper it with the experiences of the past. So that said, some wouldn't have also pointed out the aspect that there was a time in this country's past when the president couldn't walk because he was in a wheelchair. There was also times in this past when the president of this country was hot on the ability on committing genocide to the Native American population and to the African American population. These memories, if they are not kept in focus and in perspective, will lead to that sharpened rib bone hurting many people. So keep in mind the memory. Learn from the past. Do not repeat the past. Take the path unknown. Now, that doesn't mean voting for a complete idiot, nor does that mean that you're going to be questioning whether or not somebody is capable because of their health. You're going to be focusing on their intention and what they can actually bring, what they actually manifest. And what's their record of actually keeping people going and living, more than just themselves. And I see that in the other support bones here. This is because you notice the gap between them. There's a gap between those who have made decisions that have been beneficial only to themselves and not to the population around it. Therefore, the population around them does not support them, does not think of them in that great sense that they think of themselves. Be awake to hypocriticism. That is one of the biggest parts here. Now, we have some straggler offshoot bones here, and these are talking about November. I sense that we're going to be dealing with a very contentious time, which next November is also the election month. But there's much more coming. These are going to show up towards the end of October, and they're going to help some people set their intention on who they're voting for, if you already haven't made your mind up. So, this is what the ancestors and spirits have to say about the month of October. This is Uncle Destiny signing off, and I hope you have a good October. Welcome to fall, and a happy Halloween. And spend time with your family, and open your mind There is so much more out there for us to learn and see. Ashe.